good.
How many points?
Like about like 10 points higher.
And how much was that? Like 1,000 points? I haven't. I should get it. Hold on. I'm gonna go get it. Okay, I got it. So this is what I read the summer before law school, and I really, really recommend this. Okay, hey everybody. I'm Leah.
And my name is Jean.
And we are 1Ls at FAMU Law in Florida. And we're just here to just answer some questions for people who are thinking about going to law school, are in the process of doing it right now, and just have some general questions that we would want to know if we were doing our process that we were doing. So we're going to start off from where we're from.
So I'm from Tampa, Florida.
And I'm from Northern California. What was our major in undergrad?
So I did criminal justice.
Okay, so she was actually like literally in the field, kind of, right? Or
not
no?
really.
You guys didn't like briefcases or nothing?
No,
no.
Like,
I don't know
most
anything
of it, like
about
police stuff, like the police society thinking, law enforcement, all those things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. I feel like that's like more along the lines than business, because mine was business management.
Okay.
So yeah, we definitely didn't. I guess we did not have a political science, like a type of law. No, I'm saying like we don't need a political science or a law, type of major to get into law school. They don't really look at that. So it doesn't really matter what your major is. Just enjoy what your or just pick a major that you enjoy and enjoy that. You do not have to be a political science major.
Mm-hmm.
That's not gonna look better on your admissions.
Yeah. So. But I would say that like if you're like an English major or a philosophy major, like those are good for the LSAT because like you have a better thinking process than someone who has like criminal justice or even business or other kind of majors.
Yeah.
You do better than the LSAT.
Good point. Okay, so we already said, what year are we in?
So we are 1Ls at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Just started like 3 weeks
ago. So we pretty much just know how it is, like in law school. We haven't really gone through exams or nothing, but we know the unknown finally. So yeah, 3 weeks in, 1Ls.
Yeah.
Next question, first steps of law school, which is pretty much the LSAT. So did you self-study or did you take a class?
I did both.
Oh, okay.
My first time I did self-study and I was just like not good because like I was taking classes at the exact same time, so that was like a really bad idea.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
when I took my LSAT, I was just like, you need to get some help.
Okay, so how long did you study when you self-studied?
Okay, so I started my junior year summer, and then I took the LSAT like in December. So I started like in like July-ish.
Okay, so about 4 months.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good time.
What about you?
I self-studied. I started in the summer. I was working full time, and then part time I was like doing LSAT, and so I started, I think August. Yeah, around August, and then I took the November LSAT, so around like 3 to 4 months. And I do not recommend that short amount of time. I recommend longer.
Definitely.
Yeah, I would have took it a second time, but I didn't have time. I was just like, send in my application. Just take it, send it with a prayer, and then called it a day. So I didn't have time to do a second time, but I just did self-study, and that's it. What's the next question? How many times did you take it? So you took it twice?
I took it 3 times.
Okay.
Yeah, because like the first time I self-studied, it wasn't good, and I was like, okay, I can do better. So I did the course again with Princeton. Totally recommend. Okay, so I started my junior year summer, and then I took the LSAT like in December. So I started like in like July-ish.
Okay, so about 4 months.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good time.
What about you?
I self-studied. I started in the summer. I was working full time, and then part time I was like doing LSAT, and so I started, I think August. Yeah, around August, and then I took the November LSAT, so around like 3 to 4 months. And I do not recommend that short amount of time. I recommend longer.
Definitely.
Yeah, I would have took it a second time, but I didn't have time. I was just like, send in my application. Just take it, send it with prayer, and then called it a day. So I didn't have time to do the second time, but I just did self-study and that's it. What's the next question? How many times did you take it? So you took it twice?
I took it 3 times.
Okay.
Yeah, because like the first time I self-studied, it wasn't good, and I was like, okay, I can do better. So I did the course again with Princeton. Totally recommend. And like I did so much more better.
Really? Like how many points?
Like about like 10 points higher.
And how much was that? Like $1,000?
No, actually I spent $500 because
like a sale.
No,
that sounds like a sale.
Because I did like a 2-week program thing, so like it's still expensive for 2 weeks. But I did that with myself studying, so that I improved my points. And then
excuse me, sorry.
And then, and then I tried. I was like, okay, I need a better score because I was trying to like apply to like
even higher than that, girl. I would be like,
yeah, and I didn't do too well the 3rd time.
Yeah, usually.
And I was like, I should stop now.
Usually, like you don't really improve. Like you haven't done anything else. Like it's just kind of like a cap at one point. So. Yeah, that's that. And then, what did you do the week of the LSAT? Like, what were you doing?
Okay, not gonna
lie. How were you prepping?
So the second time I was like, because I had a mentor at that time, so like she kind of helped me, and she was like, relax, just do a practice test like a couple of days before, so that way like you have a better sense. And then after the LSAT, is like, do nothing, because your brain's gonna be fried.
After the LSAT?
Yeah. Because like I was like I went partying.
You partied?
Like after I was like like I spent months like studying for this thing. I need a break. So like the stress and alcohol helped.
Yeah.
Do not.
I was on some other stuff. What did I do? Every day of that week, I would take a full-on prep test.
Really?
Yeah, like every day, because I just wanted to kind of get the feel of it, and just so I was doing like the most recent prep test. And then the night before I stopped, because I think I burnt out like towards like my 4th test. I was like done. So yeah, I was just doing prep tests the whole week, and then the day before I was just like resting. I didn't do anything. I didn't study or nothing like that. So and then how did you feel during and after the test?
During the test, it was like, oh my god, I think I prepared for this, but not really. And then after, I was like, oh, thank God that thing is done.
Dude, it was like a whole 5 hours.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh. I was like, I didn't know what I was thinking, honestly. It was like a blur.
Yeah, honestly.
But I knew how I felt like afterwards, and I was just like fried. Like, I was just like a zombie because it was just so long. But during, it was just like, let's just keep going.
Do you remember what time you had yours?
It was in the morning, like 9.
In the morning? Okay.
9-ish.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, everything was a blur because that is something I do not want to do again. Yeah. Okay, so after we took the LSAT, next steps are pretty much getting in your other stuff like letters of recommendation and transcripts.
Yeah.
So letters of recommendation, I had my advisor write it, and then the dean write it, because I kind of knew them personally. Okay. So they wrote it really fast. Well, they were writing it while I was like prepping for the LSAT and stuff. Like I notified them like at least 2 months in advance, like, hey, this is what I'm doing, and this is what I need you to do, and this is what I need to buy. So they're like, oh, cool, whatever. And so they submit it online, so you don't even see your letter of recommendation. They just send it to LSAC, and it was kind of confusing. So pretty much just do everything on LSAC, and then transcripts. Again, it's like online. So if your school has a certain company that it goes through, then you can okay, sorry, my phone died. Anyways, like I was saying, so if your school has the website that links to the LSAC, which is like pretty much like the main websites, I don't know, like just the popular ones, then you can send it straight to LSAC. Like they request it and then your school sends it. But if they don't, because I went to a really small school and they did not have that website that LSAC requests or requires them to have, so my school had to literally send in my transcript to the LSAC address, and it takes longer, of course, but it got there. So yeah. All right, next question. What are the general schools that we apply to?
So should I mention the actual schools or
just like what type of schools?
Okay, so I applied to like tier 2, tier 3. Tier 2 and tier 3 schools. And like
Okay.
Yeah, what about you?
I knew I wanted to go to HBCU. So they were all out of state. They're pretty much tier 4. So I applied to pretty much all the HBCUs, and then I applied to one school that was a private university right by my house, just in case I wanted to stay home. And I had like a really tough time deciding. I was like, dang, should I go or should I stay home? So that's another story, like how we decided. But yeah. Oh, that's our next question. How did we decide what school we wanted to go to? So you can go.
I based mine on like my GPA and my LSAT score and what I wanted to achieve in terms of like LSAT scores. Like say I wanted like a 160 on the LSAT, I would apply to school like that, like 150 something range area, and like ones that actually do take my GPA. And so like that was how I got like applied to FAMU, and I was like, I'll just go to FAMU since it's like
okay, so it's based off your scores or what you applied to.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you got in, how did you decide which school to go to?
Well,
or what were the factors that you were looking at for the schools to even have for you to attend?
So I'm a big out of state person, so I applied to a lot of schools out of state. But then like since I took a gap year, and I was like, I'll just stay back in Florida and do my in-state because it's cheaper too. Just why like when I was accepted to FAMU, and I was just like, it's cheaper and like it's right there. Also, it's a good school, so that's why.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what did I do? I was looking at price, of course, and I was also looking at opportunity. What is going to give me, you know, not a guaranteed job, but a guaranteed job after. And price range. So out of state, automatically you're gonna be paying more. So that's why I was deciding. It took a really long time for me to decide either to stay in state or go out of state. But since the in-state school, like the California school was a private, it didn't really matter. It was still expensive. So
yeah,
it was pretty much living expenses what I was deciding on. So anyways, what I was looking for is opportunity, price, of course, and what else? Oh, the bar passage rates.
Oh yeah, that's a big one. Yeah.
So I was looking at all the different types of schools and what their bar passage rates was, and I actually called the schools to see. And don't do that because they're just gonna lie to you and try to sell you a.
Oh, you called them?
Yeah, I called the person who I personally was talking to. Yeah, admissions officer. I was like, so what are your LSAT scores? Or not LSAT, what are your bar passage rates and stuff? I didn't freaking know. And he was like, 75%. I'm like, sounds good, okay. And then I was talking with the 2L, and they're like, do not do that. You need to go on ABA and like literally look at the statistics because they're gonna lie to you.
There's also like other like law students that do like reviews online. I forgot what it's called, but like you search the school like and then you put review next to it, and then they tell you like the bar passage rate, like the tuition, and they'd be like this school versus this school, and it's like okay, thanks guys. That really helped.
Yeah, so I went to the ABA and looked, and then it was like completely different from what the heck he said.
That's the site you should be checking.
So yeah, I had to learn the hard way, but that was before I decided. So yeah. Anyways, so yeah, and then what did you do to prep for law school in the summer?
I don't think I really did anything because like I know you're coming from out of state, so yours is like different. But besides like the whole like, cause like I didn't have to do the residency stuff anymore or the immunization thing. Like we had to.
You didn't have to do that?
No, I just had to accept. Because I went to the undergrad, so just like they had my information.
Oh, FAMU.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you went to FAMU undergrad.
So
Okay.
I did nothing. Just bring myself to Orlando. That was about it.
Mm-hmm.
And find a place.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I had to do all that. But I just like printed out my amputation stuff and then.
Okay.
Yeah. What did I do? I didn't do nothing but rest because I looked up what to do because I was like, what should I do? Like, I'm just anxiety. You know, I want to know what's going on.
I think anxiety for like what to wear and like what to do in class.
Yeah. Like, so what I did was I read a book called 1 L of a Ride by Andrew McClurg. I have it. I should get it. Hold on. I'm going to go get it. Okay, I got it. So this is what I read the summer before law school. And I really, really recommend this because this reduced my anxiety by a whole 10 points. I was on a 10 and this brought me to a 2. So definitely recommend this. This even can help you during law school because he really gives you how to brief and how to prepare for exams and what to do drama wise and how law school is. It's perfect. Yeah.
You have a lot of good reviews online when I saw it.
Yeah.
I wish I read it though.
Yeah. Too late. Anyways. How long have we been in law school? We already said that, right?
Yeah. 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Fresh meat. All right. How do we feel finally knowing about the unknown?
It's actually very relieving because now you have a better sense of what you're getting yourself into, and the whole the exam, the final exam, the studying process, being ready for classes, and you're you know what you need to know in a way. Yeah. And that way, even though I do still have panic, anxiety and stuff about classes, I know these are things I need to do. I just panic. That's just me. I just panic in general. It's I'm behind.
Yeah,
not really.
We're all in the same boat. You're gonna be feeling a whole different types and different emotions that you've never even felt before, but everybody is feeling the same way. But I just feel so relieved that I just know what's expected of me. How to move, because you got to move differently. They always say law school is so different and it's nothing you were ever gone through before. So, and that's definitely true now that I'm in it. And I hear this all the time in videos, but it's just how is it different? What is so hard about it? And blah 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 blah. So we'll get into we'll get into that. So
video is this video?
No, it's this video. It's the next question actually. So I wrote it. I was why or what is so hard about law school? What do you think?
I think for me it's the Socratic method.
Yes.
That's the hard part.
Hate it.
But it's just when you get called on to speak or brief a case and stuff, at that moment you're panicking and shaking. But once it's done, you're oh, that was it. I got this.
Yeah. And
they call you again oh, not again. I had a professor, I knew the answer, I raised my hand, they called on me. And I answered the question.
And those follow-up questions?
Yeah, and I was I was not ready. I didn't know I was not ready for that one. But
yeah. And it's you have it in your notes, but your anxiety and your nerves are just takes the best of you. So.
And the thing is honestly they say don't panic because everyone else is oh, please don't call on me, please don't call on me. That's what they're thinking about, not you standing there and panicking. They're panicking about not being called. And but it's just that mentality of being oh, everyone is gonna be laughing at me.
Yeah, the book says it too. He kind of walks you through what a Socratic method is, and it's pretty much a discussion, but it's on steroids. So my thing is about law school, why it's so hard is because the reading material, you're pretty much teaching yourself. Undergrad, you're used to all the information coming to you. Law school, you're pretty much giving the information to the professor, and he's questioning you, why would you think that? And that I don't know, what he's questioning you to get the right answer, and then he might affirm it, and then he might say no, that's wrong. So I'm kind of talking in circles, but pretty much the reading is dense material too. So how you read, you got to slow it down because the reading is it's not hard language, like it's not Greek. It's just you really need, it's dense, and you need to get into the material because that professor's gonna be dancing all around that case. So you really gotta dissect and just slow down and really pick up on.
Take notes.
Yeah, take notes. Yeah, for sure. And write your notes down so you can really dissect it, but digest it. What else? So Socratic method, hate it because it's different. Like, it's not undergrad. Like, I want the professor to tell me what they want me to know.
Yeah.
I don't want them to question me in front of 80 people what they think I should have got on that case. I do not like that because I'm just a very sensitive person.
I have a professor who is just like that, and it's just like, it's 11:03 where he's like, sir,
wait, and they're talking about from us? They're talking about they're about to pick it up, like they're slowing it down because we're 1Ls and stuff, but they're about to pick this up.
Slowing down.
So
I'm scared.
Anxiety is coming back. So I'm like, this is not it. So Socratic method I absolutely hate just because you don't know, and then you have everybody else like looking at you, like trying to judge you because I feel like they're just judging me. But honestly, like if you get it wrong, like it's whatever. Like heck of people get
someone
it wrong
else would figure it out for you,
and you don't think anything of it. For like when I get something wrong, like when I raise my hand, like I feel like I'm like the dumbest person. Like, but when somebody else gets it wrong, I'm like, oh okay, Okay, next, what's the answer, professor? Like,
right.
So don't be so hard on yourself. That's pretty much what I'm trying to say, because we're literally all in the same boat. I mean, some people learn differently. Some people read differently. They just...
your studying is going to be like very different from undergrad, definitely.
Yeah.
Like studying in law school is like, I don't know, you have to like do something, pick something that works for you. Not what you use in undergrad, but something that would help you in grad school. Like how we mentioned, like the whole reading, taking notes, analysis, like definitely like do those things.
Yeah, that's another thing. Time. Do we have any free time in law school?
Somewhat.
Like now?
Yeah. I mean, we sometimes choose to procrastinate, but that's everybody.
Like we should not. I feel like I should be studying right now.
Yeah, me too. Definitely. I have to study after this.
Your free time, you feel very guilty. Like right now, I feel very guilty. It's a Sunday, but my weekends are literally filled up with just preparing for next week's classes. So
I love how like they say like study, but take some time. Study.
That's
I'm like,
what we're doing. Okay. 24/7.
Yeah.
And I
mean, you just have to like manage your time wisely. That's how you get free time.
Mm-hmm.
Like know like, okay, I need to get this done. I can make this amount of time for myself. And just you have to like have a good mentality to keep going.
Positive.
Yeah.
Because this law school thing can really like increase your anxiety like on a whole nother level. So
even 3 hours are experiencing it, and we're just 3 weeks in, and they're like 3 years in.
I can imagine like levels at that point. But no, that's like a real thing. Like our anxiety and depression levels are higher than like medical students. I don't know. I think it's the Socratic method.
I think they have that in medical school too, don't they? Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Anyways, next question.
Go to law school.
What field of law do you see yourself in after law school?
This is a tough one because like I used to say international law, and then I spoke to some lawyers, and I was like, okay, criminal law, but then now I'm just kind of like, maybe I want to do general practice. Yeah, so I can get like a little bit of like everything, but I know like some other like I think personal injury is not in general practice, and bankruptcy, I don't think I want to do that either. But I would like to do general practice because like it gives you like, you get to do pretty much everything per se, and just like focus on just one thing also. So
it sounds hard.
Yeah.
Good luck. I will be in my initial ooh,
dinky tea.
I know, right? So when I came to law school, I had a goal of becoming a divorce attorney, just helping women in that aspect, fighting for their rights, letting them know what their rights are, what have you. So family law was my goal, or still is. Now I'm thinking about transactional, so like contracts and corporate, because that's what I did in undergrad. I pretty much was like in the corporate world, you know, doing typing
business stuff.
Yeah, all that good stuff.
That makes sense.
And I didn't mind that. So I'm still open. I mean, we don't really know until like we go through everything, because I've heard, you know, you go into law school wanting to do one thing, come out doing the opposites.
I think my mindset is like, I'm not trying to focus on just one thing, because you never know, like you said, you never know what you're gonna do in the future. Like you can say you're gonna do like criminal now, and then like you do an internship at a criminal firm, and you're just like, this is not for me.
Yeah, so another thing, internships, like doing internships where you want to practice, like instead of like doing, because what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna intern in California to get my networking up and going, and instead of just interning in Florida where I'm at right now. So just to see, you know, what you like and what you don't like. So
just like you might choose to even like practice in a whole different state.
Okay, so next question: how was orientation, and did faculty ease your anxiety about law school? If so, how?
You go first.
Okay. Orientation was cool. They had like a little cookout the day before, well, not the day before, on the weekend. And just to kind of like, you know, network and see who's who, blah, blah, blah. I went to that and I had a great time. I met a lot of people. They're really, really friendly, faculty and the students. And orientation, when they started like Monday, it was actually a 2-week orientation, which I did not like because they burned us out, and they need to, you know, tweak that a little bit. But hey, whatever, you know, whatever. It's feedback.
It's been working.
Feedback, family.
It's been working for them in a way.
I think this was new for them.
Was it?
Yeah, this is new. Foundation.
I should pay more attention.
So feedback, too long. And
cut it short.
1 week of foundations, and then next week just let us recoup, and then bam. So anyways, orientation, when they first introduced everybody, it really did, it made me feel good about the choice that I made going to a faculty.
Yeah, definitely.
They, you know, made sure that you knew that they were in your corner and the resources are here for you, and they introduced themselves, and everybody was just really nice and like, oh, if you see me around, say hey, blah, blah, blah. So they didn't really ease like the anxiety of law school and the amount of work you're gonna have to do and blah, blah. They just eased the anxiety of they are in our corner. Yeah. And, you know, they're going to have your back when you want to do internships and all that good stuff. So that was nice. Now, foundations, that 2-week-long thing of a mock class, law school class, that was actually really good. I did enjoy that. Again, it was too long, but it definitely helped introduce, you know, what we had to do, what was coming up. What about you?
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed foundation. And as far as like the orientation, yeah, it was pretty long, like you said. And also, like, I think, like, when they talked about the mental health thing, when they came with the doctor came in, some people came in. Wait a minute, don't they have, like, stuff for us to go get?
No.
Okay, we'll talk about it later. But, orientation was cool. I liked, like, seeing the faculty members and knowing like who you're gonna go to talk to about whatever issues you're having, and just like making friends through orientation, just, you know, making like those connections with your classmates, and that kind of thing was like really cool. And for foundation, which was the classes that we had to do, it was nice in some way, but it was just like, because like that whole 2 weeks was like, okay, this is a good like entrance into like like law school classes might be like, but it's not the exact thing, because like the way they were teaching during foundation was so different from when the actual classes. Like, the professor that we had was like too chill, too laid back, and then I go into actual class and it's like I would not like that. I'm like, oh, that's kind of like,
you know what, the first day, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but the first day they were like that. They
really?
were like, yeah, she was like, it was an act, like I felt like.
You had like a different professor than I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like mine was
but
like,
I feel like, because I was talking to other people and they're like, oh yeah, mine were like, I think they had like the woman or something like that.
Oh, I had the man.
Oh yeah, he was cool. I heard he was cool, but both of the ladies, they were like putting on some act, like they were not smiling when we first came in. And they were just like, what's this and what's that? Like, they were just being all like how you think a law professor is. And then the other days they were just chill. So I was like,
I mean, it was nice, but it was open away.
Yeah. Okay, well, that is our Q&A. And if you guys have any other questions, just comment down below, like, and subscribe. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it, answered more questions than the videos that are already out there. Yeah. Because that's why we did this video. And yeah, and then next time I think we want to do like a little law school tour. I think that's kind of next, just to kind of show like the building and everything. It's really cute.
It's cute.
All right, y'all. Thanks.